As a result of her newborn baby's health crisis, Carlin Bates, the adored reality star from the Bringing Up Bates family, is once again dealing with a wave of emotional agony. According to reports, the young mother of two has been finding it difficult to regulate her emotions while attempting to remain resilient for her family. Her spouse, after seeing their small child in distress, something no parent ever wants to go through, Evan Stewart is reportedly in total shock. Known for their strong familial ties and faith, the Bates family has always supported one another through difficult times, but this tragic circumstance has completely upended them. The dread of not being able to safeguard her infant overwhelms Carlin, who is already juggling her continuing health issues from past fainting spells, according to insiders close to the pair. Evan, usually his wife's rock, he was clearly shaken as medical professionals hurried to stabilize the baby's condition. Fans and family have come together in prayer and support, posting heartfelt condolences for Carlin and Evan on social media. Despite the obvious emotional toll, many are highlighting how the couple's faith may have helped them get through this dreadful phase. Although the newborn's health scare has not been fully disclosed by the doctors, family members have detailed the hospital environment, feeling anxious and uneasy. This catastrophe strikes Carlin at a time when she is already at risk due to balancing parenthood, health issues, and the attention she receives as a member of the Bates family. According to her friends, she is relying on Evan more than ever and holding fast to her faith. However, he is also struggling with a sense of powerlessness. The Bates family's fortitude and resiliency are once again being put to the test as the community anxiously awaits updates. The trip of Carlin and Evan makes Carlin Bates, and since her sister Erin Bates is still in the hospital, Evan Stewart's recent announcement of the gender of their baby is met with mixed emotions. Here is all the information you require regarding the most recent family update. Shortly after welcoming her third child with husband Evan Stewart, Carlin Bates is disclosing the sex of her child. The star of Bringing Up Bates is disclosing their child's sex. The proud mother gave her final push in a cute Instagram video when her husband revealed the sex of their child. The joyful father's statement, "It's a girl," caused the newlywed parents of three to respond emotionally. Bates informed Stewart that she believed they were expecting a son, and her husband grinned proudly at his wife's fortitude in giving birth naturally. He planted a kiss on her hand and remarked, "You went natural. You're like Superwoman." The loving mother caressed the back of her head and wept while holding her infant close to her bosom. "Our kid is a girl. I love her. I was so incredibly mistaken," she sobbed, shedding tears as she gazed down at her infant daughter. After the sex reveal, Bates posted a video showing Stewart holding his kid for the first time. "I love you." Bates reiterated her feelings in the post's title, writing, "You don't even know how much you are already loved. Sweet baby girl." The pleased mother captioned the photo, "I think she has him wrapped around her," after becoming tearful as she watched the exchange. Finger already. The couple shared the wonderful news of their third child's arrival on Instagram on Wednesday, September 10th. Various photos of the new parents with their child throughout the first few moments of the baby's life were included in the 11-picture carousel. The good news comes while her sister Erin Bates, who recently gave birth to her 7th child with husband Chad Payne, is still in the hospital following a violent seizure that occurred a few days after she went into septic shock due to a kidney infection and UTI. The father of. On Tuesday, September 9th, Seven announced on Instagram that the 34-year-old star of Bringing Up Bates would be continuing her recuperation at a different hospital after experiencing issues after giving birth to their 7th kid. Erin was moved to a different hospital yesterday, where a group of medical professionals are collaborating to help her get better. Payne stated, "The nurses have been so compassionate and have become like family to us," and included a video of himself embracing and caressing his wife's face, hand in her hospital bed while she sobbed. He said in the article, "Recovery is not quick or simple, but we are incredibly grateful for every little step forward." Bringing up Bates alum Carlin Bates and her husband Evan Stewart have revealed the birth of their third child, a baby girl, in a heartbreaking and bittersweet turn of events. In the same way as Erin Bates, Carlin's sister, is still fighting for her health in the hospital following severe problems. Uncertainty and worry are mixed with the happy news of fresh starts and new lives. For a family that is already struggling, it's a girl, the big reveal. Carlin Bates and Evan Stewart welcomed their third child together on September 10th, 2025. Evan declared it's a girl. This was followed by passionate responses from both parents in a dramatic Instagram video shot shortly after Carlin's last push. Carlin seemed surprised to hear the news, as it seemed that she had been expecting a boy. She sobbed as she held the newborn and whispered, "I was so very wrong." Evan. In response, he called Carlin Superwoman and complimented her strength for giving birth naturally while kissing her hand. Carlin cradling her baby near. Evan looking lovingly, and proud siblings welcoming their new sister were all depicted in the post-birth pictures. Another video clip showed Carlin holding their daughter for the first time, with the statement, "You don't even know how much you are already loved, sweet baby girl." Carlin said, "I think she has him wrapped around her finger already." After giving delivery, Carlin shared pictures from the hospital with her followers, thanked them for their support, and mentioned how much she and Evan were looking forward to seeing the new baby. In February 2025, the couple initially shared the news of their pregnancy via a family photo. They were excited about growing their family at the time. At the time of the gender announcement, the parents had not yet disclosed the baby's name, but the new arrival joined siblings Layla Ray and Zaid Patrick. After speculating, followers were informed that Navy Kate would be the child's name. Carlin honored her husband and supporters in her Instagram statement, referring to Evan as her silent strength. An 11-picture carousel showcasing infant moments, family interactions, and the first embraces of life was part of the social media post. Erin Bates is dealing with a significant health issue, and the couple captioned the photo, "The world just got a little softer. Our baby is here." As Evans and Carlin celebrate the birth of their daughter, their extended family is going through a very trying time because Carlin's sister Erin Bates is still in the hospital after her own kid was born due to life-threatening circumstances. On August 25th, 2025, Erin and her husband, Chad Payne, welcomed Henry Blythe, their 7th child. The birth itself appeared to go okay at first, but Erin started having major problems afterward. She developed renal and urinary tract infections that worsened, quickly resulting in septic shock. Erin's labor was longer and more intense than others, according to Chad. Erin was sent to the intensive care unit to fight the symptoms of sepsis and other complications after experiencing a violent seizure that was described as prolonged and severe after the infection started. Erin was later sent to another hospital, where a group of medical professionals are collaborating to help her recover, according to Chad Payne's Instagram updates. "Yesterday Erin was," Chad said. He added, "Recovery is not fast or easy, but we are deeply thankful for every small step forward." Chad also shared emotionally charged posts during this ordeal. She was transferred to a new hospital where a team of doctors is working together to help her improve. "The nurses have been so compassionate and have become like family to us." In one video, he nearly broke down in tears as he read Erin a note from their daughter, Brooklyn. Many were moved by the letter that a small youngster wrote to her sick mother. Followers as a particularly moving reminder of the toll this illness may have on an individual. At one point, Chad said, "Our children are thankful for every prayer, message, and act of kindness from well-wishers, as Erin's condition left them missing their mother deeply." As medical professionals continue to diagnose and treat Erin in an effort to aid in her recovery and identify the underlying factors that led to her collapse, her health status remains unstable and unpredictable. Erin was discharged from the hospital in mid-October, even if her recuperation is still pending and uncertain. She stated that she had trouble moving her right leg and that physicians were still trying to find the cause. There are still unanswered issues and medical uncertainty, even though the immediate threat appears to have gone. Both medical professionals and fans are concerned about Erin's condition, particularly the confluence of infection, sepsis, and neurological issues. One well-known medical emergency is sepsis, and the presence of seizures indicates that issues might have had a cascade effect on her organs or brain. Her situation serves as a reminder of how quickly postpartum issues can worsen, even in women who are generally healthy. Family under stress, emotional strain, and public responses. Large and well known, the Bates family has been thrown into a period of both celebration and catastrophe. Because of bringing up Bates, their dynamics have been well studied, and fans typically keep a close eye on each sibling's accomplishments. Some critics in public discourse critique Carlin for sharing cheerful, joyous things on social media throughout Erin's medical crisis. Some referred to the timing as lacking sensitivity or tone deaf. Others stood up for Carlin, arguing that despite her personal struggles, she has the right to express her happiness, particularly during a significant event like the birth of a child. Audiences' emotional investment in how prominent personalities strike a balance between their own pleasures and public sensitivities is demonstrated by the criticism or scrutiny. It appears that support has been rallied inside the family. Erin's. According to reports, Gil and Kelly Bates hurried to be close to her during the hospital stay. In addition, siblings have stepped in to provide emotional support, outreach, and assistance with children. Carlin and Evan wrote in public that they were thankful for the affection that has been all around us during this difficult time. As they negotiated celebration, optimism, and worry, they occasionally spoke of teary evenings, late nights, and joyful nights. The contrast between the emergence of new life and the vulnerability of human health has not been overlooked. Observers, fans have reflected on how life can swing so quickly between happiness and crisis as a result of the difference between the excitement of Carlin's birth announcement and the despair of Erin's hospital stay. Some medical experts, speaking generally and not specifically about the Bates case, point out that postpartum women are still susceptible to difficulties, including infections, bleeding, or clotting problems, and that the existence of underlying or undiagnosed diseases can make matters worse. Particularly dangerous conditions like sepsis and septic shock call for immediate, well-coordinated medical attention. Extreme cases can have a long and unpredictable recovery period. This is a really human tale that was publicly acted out and is simultaneously joyous and tragic. Now officially a mother of 3, Carlin Bates is living the kind of moment that many couples only dream about. That first sob, that first hug, that first connection. Her status in a well-known family with a loyal following that watches amplifies that happiness. Important life events in close proximity. However, the tale of Erin Bates enduring one of the most terrifying medical crises in life while battling in a hospital bed provides a sharp contrast. For the Bates family, it serves as a reminder that life is brittle and that the line separating optimism from terror can suddenly change. It probably feels like a tightrope walk during this time. They have to take care of a newborn, help Carlin recuperate from giving birth, comfort kids, look after Erin's recuperating spouse and kids. Control the public's attention while maintaining your faith and optimism. In response, a large number of supporters and onlookers have united in support of Carlin and Erin. Congratulatory messages mix with healing prayers. Some have called for empathy and a careful balancing act between sharing happiness and pain. Carlin's right to appreciate her moment has been upheld by others. There is a complex question in that mixture. Can happiness and sorrow coexist? Strategy for public communication as public personalities, the siblings of the Bates and their families are responsible for determining whether to provide updates, how much to communicate, and how to strike a balance between privacy and transparency. Errors might draw criticism, but keeping quiet could lead to conjecture. Carlin's experience after giving birth. In addition to the neonatal phase, Carlin's personal recuperation needs consideration. As a mother and a sibling in crisis, she will require rest, healing, and support. Faith and reflections. The Bates family frequently discusses their beliefs in public remarks. Their interpretation, their audience's perception of these spiritual happenings may have an impact on how this chapter is remembered. Media and fan response. Observers will keep examining social media posts' substance, tone, and timing. While some may criticize tone, others may commend authenticity. The family's emotional resilience may be impacted by how they handle such outside strain. It's a girl. Carlin Bates' announcement of a newborn daughter is a moment of unadulterated delight and amazement. However, her heart is unquestionably linked to the dangerous health path of her sister Erin. This is a very moving and complicated time for the Bates family because of the way that birth and crisis, joy and anxiety come together. While supporters everywhere celebrate the birth of a child, many are also praying for grace, healing, and the fortitude to bear the suffering as well as the victory. The emotional extremes of this story serve as a reminder that actual life is rarely easily divided into discrete halves. Love, pain, grief, and laughter frequently show up in the same room on the same day in ways that overlap. Carlin, Evan, Erin, Chad, and the rest of the Bates family still have a long way to go. For now, though, we observe, hold out hope, and celebrate life wherever we can. The Bates family's life has always been full with challenges, surprises, and significant events. The Big Tennessee family, well known for appearing on the reality show Bringing Up Bates, frequently opens up to viewers about their pleasures and hardships. However, the family saw a stark difference this September. One sister, one clinging to life in the hospital, another enjoying new life. On September 10th, 2025, Carlin Bates Stewart and her husband Evan Stewart welcomed a baby girl into the world, their third child. Erin Bates Payne, Carlin's older sister, was hospitalized after experiencing life-threatening complications after giving birth to her seventh child, and she was still dealing with one of the most challenging health battles of her life, just as the couple was sharing their happiness with fans on the internet. The two plot lines, happiness, encapsulated the intricacies of family, religion, and public life. Crisis for one sibling, crisis for another. A closer look at what transpired, the implications for the Bates family, and the reactions of fans to this heartbreaking chapter are provided here. The happy arrival. It's a female. There was a mix of excitement and tiredness in Carlin and Evan's birthing room. Carlin gave birth to a healthy baby after hours of labor, and Evan happily said the words that every parent longs to hear. It's a female. Carlin had previously been cried with delight and surprise, certain all during her pregnancy that she was expecting a son. Later, in a social media post, she laughed at herself while expressing her feelings in the delivery room. "I was so very wrong," she acknowledged. The unfiltered emotional moments were documented in pictures and videos. Carlin cradling the baby to her bosom, Evan kissing her hand, and the couple exchanging astonished and appreciative looks. Evan referred to his wife as Superwoman because she gave birth without intervention, praising her for her resilience. A slew of pictures showcasing adorable baby moments and the emotions of elder siblings Layla Ray, now 5, and Zaid Patrick, 3, were featured in their Instagram announcement. A later post identified her as Navy Kate Stewart with the message, "You don't even know how much you are already loved, sweet baby girl." Fans showered the comments with congrats, lauding the couple for their openness and describing the name as charming and distinctive, sharing these kinds of life achievements. Navy's birth signified the continuation of a journey that Carlin and Evan, who were married in May 2019, have openly embraced. Their path as parents has been filled with highs and lows, as well as health issues, starting with their wedding and early marriage. The focus is on parenting. There have been difficulties along the way for Carlin and Evans as they become parents to 3 children. Layla Ray, their first child, was born in January 2020 and had a healthy problems as a baby, such as low oxygen episodes. The couple's candid sharing of their anxieties with followers made them seem vulnerable, which attracted a lot of admirers. When their son, Zaid Patrick, arrived in March 2022, the family experienced even more chaos and happiness. Carlin experienced terrifying health issues during the time, such as seizures and fainting episodes. Eventually, physicians connected them to a circulation-related ailment called postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, or POTS. By the time Carlin and Evan had established a routine as a family of 4 by the time they revealed their third pregnancy in February 2025. Layla and Zaid's announcement photo, in which they held a sonogram, conveyed joy for the siblings, who were also excited to welcome a new baby. For admirers who had conjectured about the baby's sex, that build-up added to the excitement of the final announcement. Carlin had been taken aback by the pink reality after leaning into the expectation of a boy, a family in distress. Erin Bates' health. Fear. The suffering household experienced heartbreak as the Stewart household rejoiced. Erin Bates' pain and her husband Chad had just had Henry Blythe, their 7th child, 2 weeks prior. The delivery appeared uneventful at first. However, Erin's health started to drastically decline a few days later. Erin got a urinary tract infection that progressed to her kidneys, according to Chad's social media posts. Septic shock, a hazardous illness when the body's reaction to infection was brought on by the infection, leads to organ failure. Erin had a major seizure, which made things worse and left her unconscious and in critical condition. In one update, Chad stated that she was sent to the intensive care unit, ICU, immediately following the seizure, and that medical professionals were working around the clock to stabilize her. Please remember to pray for Erin. The children miss their mother terribly. Erin was moved to a different hospital where a multidisciplinary team could better oversee her care because the situation had gotten so bad. Later, Chad revealed that, as they compassionately cared for Erin, the nurses had grown to be like family. Erin was released from the hospital by the middle of October, but it was unclear how she would recover. Doctors were still trying to figure out why she was still having trouble moving, especially in her right leg. Erin's diagnosis was unexpected for many fans, who questioned how such issues could occur. When an infection spreads throughout the body, septic shock happens, resulting in dangerously low blood pressure and possible failure of an organ. Urinary tract infections in postpartum women can occasionally worsen if they're not treated right once, particularly if they spread to the kidneys or circulation. Septic shock is a serious medical condition. It can be fatal if therapy is not received right away. Recovery might be unexpected and prolonged, even with prompt intervention. Chronic weariness, physical weakness, and neurological difficulties from seizures or organ damage are common aftereffects for patients. Erin's seizure caused special worry. In this situation, seizures could be a sign of neurological involvement, such as brain infection, edema, or metabolic problems brought on by sepsis. Erin's loved ones were relieved when she was discharged from the hospital, but it is yet unclear how her ordeal may affect them in the future. The Bates family has been emotionally overwhelmed by the event's juxtaposition. They are commemorating the arrival of Navy Kate, a representation of hope and fresh life on the one hand. They are supporting Erin despite not knowing how her health will develop. Carlin received backlash from some fans for posting happy baby pictures while Erin was still in the hospital. Critics criticized her updates as insensitive, sparking heated online discussions. In response, supporters argued that Carlin shouldn't be asked to suppress her own happiness. Life's major events don't stop for tragedy after all. There seems to be harmony throughout the family. Erin has been accompanied by his parents, Gil and Kelly Joe, as well as his siblings. Alternated duties supporting Carlin after giving birth, keeping fans informed, and assisting with Erin's children. The family has always placed a strong emphasis on faith as their guiding principle, and themes of prayer, confidence in God, and thankfulness for even the smallest benefits recur frequently in posts from Carlin and Chad. The media, faith, and fans. The reality show Bringing Up Bates, which ran from 2015 to 2021, helped the Bates family become well known. The Bateses, like their pals the Duggar family, who have 19 children in total, created their identity centered on big families, spirituality, and family. Since the show's conclusion, a lot of